Guidance software is known for providing 360-degree visibility into your endpoints to give you that forensic information you need to meet your e-discovery, incident response, cybersecurity, and internal investigation needs. Now, we've built on this core competency to deliver a best-in-breed, purpose-built internal investigation solution. This new solution is called EnCase Endpoint Investigator. Now, with EnCase Endpoint Investigator, you're able to search and collect data from desktops, laptops, servers, and even smart devices. And this is going to help you meet your internal investigation needs, whether that be an HR investigation, some sort of compliance need, if you have to do some regulatory investigations, or maybe even investigate a potential IP theft. So let me explain to you how this product works at a high level. So first, what you do is you're going to install the Endpoint Investigator software on your investigator's computer. Now, this is going to be their user interface that allows them to complete their investigation. Now, on all of your endpoints, we're going to install the EnCase agent. Now, this is a small agent that sits on the endpoint that's going to communicate back to the Endpoint Investigator software and do the search and collection for us. So this is how this works. So when you have an internal investigation need, what you're going to do is you're going to create some sort of criteria. So this is what's going to be used to search that endpoint. You're going to communicate to the endpoints that you need to search, and the agent's going to be searching that, looking for anything that matches what you've created in that criteria. It's going to search it in a forensically sound manner. This means it doesn't change anything about the files. Anything that's responsive or that matches that criteria, it's going to collect that information and it's going to send it back to your Endpoint Investigator software. So this is going to allow that investigator to complete the case, to complete the HR investigation or whatever type of investigation that is. So this can happen over the network. You don't need physical access to the computers. You just need to be able to communicate with them. So right off the bat, this is going to save you a tremendous amount of time, especially compared to old ways that you would have done this, where you might have had to send laptops to an employee that is under investigation, have them send their laptop back to you, which does a couple of things. Obviously, that there's a cost associated with that. But then on top of that, the employee now knows they're being investigated, which can really hurt their productivity. So with the EnCase Endpoint Investigator approach, our investigation happens discreetly. The employee doesn't even know they're being investigated. The files are collected again in a forensically sound manner, so that allows you to complete an investigation that's going to hold up in court. So not only is that saving you a lot of time, but that also saves you a tremendous amount of money. So let me talk to you about a couple of the newest features in EnCase Endpoint Investigator. The first is known as pathways. So we've been working with users, people that complete internal investigations for a very long time. So we understand the steps that need to be followed. So what we've done is we've incorporated a workflow into the product to allow a newer investigator to get up to speed with Endpoint Investigator pretty quickly. So this takes them all the way from identifying the endpoints to creating their different criteria they need to search those endpoints, to processing that data and completing their final reports. So with pathways, you're going to see a nice increase in productivity in your team. The next feature I want to talk to you about is our enhanced agent. So what I explained a moment ago about how you would do a search and collection from an endpoint, that's going to be the way you're going to do that for the majority of your endpoints. But there's a certain subset of endpoints that are hardly ever on the network. So these are your salespeople, your field personnel. It's going to be very difficult, even with the Endpoint Investigator, to get consistent collections from those endpoints. But with the enhanced agent, the way that that's going to work, it's going to follow the same sort of path. You're going to create your criteria, send it to the endpoint, but now instead of that agent pushing the files back to the investigator software automatically, it actually is going to store those locally. And the next time that that endpoint is on the network, then it's going to push the files to the investigator software. So this means that you can get those collections going even if the endpoint isn't on the network for very often. So we're very excited about EnCase Endpoint Investigator. For more information, please visit us at guidancesoftware.com. Thanks.